So if you're about to build a custom home, there are 3 important people that actually deliver on the product that you're asking for. And most homeowners don't actually know how to put this piece together. And that's where we find gaps in delivering the product that you're actually asking for. So I've been building for 25 years, and in the 25 years that I've been around, I've seen how really successful projects actually work. Now, I will say, I was a young builder, and I had to gut it out and work through figuring out how projects don't run really well. And I'll tell you, that sticks with me all the way to the 25-year mark where I say, hey, I actually want to help you build this team, because I know that alignment is the number one thing, the alignment with the architect, the designer, and the builder. All of those 3 things need to be aligned for you, client, for this to be a successful project for you. So by the end of this video, you're going to know the 3 most important people that can deliver the product that you're actually asking for, and the levels of service that each of these 3 people provide. Let's start with the architect. So the architect is responsible for providing the set of plans, the specifications, and the documentation required for construction. When we think about architecture or drafting a project, we think about how much information are we gathering to then distribute to get factual details back. And so there are levels of service that architects or draftspeople provide. There could be a simple set of plans, maybe 10 pages. And in that 10 pages, we have a floor plan, we have exterior elevation, we have maybe cut sections through the walls, enough to get us started. But there's a gap on the rest of the information that a builder needs to actually execute the vision of the client. So you can imagine that is the least expensive route to go for architecture or drafting. The next level up is, again, more detail. It may be 50 pages, which means we have more factual information that then again gets distributed to a designer and a builder, and they are responsible for putting the facts together on the budget for you, client. Now that's the second level. The third level, we'll just go to the end. It could be 200 pages of documents and every detail drawn out on these plans with specifications, perhaps even sometimes allowances, and the how-to on the pages, how to actually do this. During construction, that architect is also available the entire time. In our world, that's called construction administration with the architect. So in the construction administration role of the architect, we meet weekly, we bring trades to the meetings, we have clients at the meetings. We make sure that while we have our architects in this project, we're asking them really good questions on things that we don't quite understand yet, or details that need to be developed even further. Again, that's the end of the spectrum. So you can play anywhere in between. Now, if I'm looking for a product that is top tier, top end, best of the best, top 1%, that's going to require an architect to provide that level of service, which means it's that level of cost. And from what I've seen in the industry, that could cost between 10 and 15% of the cost of construction. And number 2 is designer. And I will tell you, homeowners historically bring the designer in way too late. Okay, so the designers are the folks that actually breathe life into this home, give it some energy, right? So we have the plans to work with from the architect, and the vision is extracted from clients by the designer, and then there's an input into the home. There's really a wide range of services that designers provide. So at the very basic level, it's an hourly rate based on what the homeowner is actually needing. It's as simple as that. I need help picking out my paint. There's an hourly fee. I need help picking out my hardware. There's an hourly fee. Very basic structure, very helpful for homeowners. The next level would be based on deliverables. The deliverables could look something like this. I'm going to provide a tile finish schedule, a countertop finish schedule, a paint finish schedule, select your wood. Like these are deliverables. This is what I'm going to do. And the fee structure could be hourly, or it could be a number or a price based on those deliverables. So what do I mean by finish schedules? It can be confusing. A finish schedule is actually a piece of paper that shows the builder what is going in the house. So let's use tile, for example. It could be bathroom 2 tile, the floor is 12 by 12, the shower walls are 2 by 6 inch tile, it's the material used, it's the grout used. It basically informs the builder as to how to build out this bathroom. That's what we call a schedule. It's basically a list of materials, really. So the builder can then take this document and work with their tile folks. If we go one step further, where a homeowner says, hey, designers, you do everything. We're gonna build this house, you take care of it. You know, the selections, you take care of the furniture, you take care of the lighting, you take care of the move-in, you take care of storing furniture that we purchased during construction. You make it happen. If you need a week at the end of construction, that week is yours, because when we show up, we want to sleep in beds where the sheets are clean and everything's new. Perfectly done. I don't want any interruptions in my life. We don't have time for that. That's the extreme end of what designers can provide. So homeowners, again, this all goes back to the product that you're wanting to purchase. And just by knowing that there are levels of services that designers provide, you can then pick that level of service that's attached to the price tag that you're wanting to pay for that product. All right, and the third person you need on your project is the builder, the doer, the person that gets it done. So again, we have the architect providing the plans, we have the designer delivering the vision, and now the builder is responsible for executing. So homeowners, you have to figure out how you're gonna select your builder. And so in my mind, there are 3 things that really define who you wanna work with. The first one is the product, right? So you're now familiar with the product that you actually want because you have your architect and you have your designer. So it's clear on the product. That product needs to be aligned with the builder because the builder is going to hire the doers. And those doers need to be aligned with the level of product that you're expecting and the level of budget you're expecting. So that's part number 1. Number 2 is the experience you're looking for. So this is a process that could take 6 months, it could take 4 years. And there's an experience that goes along with it. The systems the builder practices is a direct reflection of the experience that you will have. So systems like weekly reports, so you're not wondering what's going on in construction. Changes in construction, how much are those changes and how does it affect my budget? And how can I make future decisions based on these modifications? Action items. Builders have to capture information all day, filter it, and then convert it into taking action. And so there are systems that builders practice every single minute of every single day that determine your experience that you will have with this builder. And the third one is making sure you're picking a builder that you want to be in a relationship for either 6 months, and it could be 4 years. Because you will go through a lot together. There are unknowns that pop up, and builder and homeowner need to be comfortable with each other in talking about these and having the ability to move forward on a project. We've all seen relationships that either get bottlenecked or stopped, or someone refrains from communicating. Those are all bad signs when you're trying to select a builder. And so sometimes it takes a little bit of time to understand how the builder thinks. And that's why it's a really nice thing to go through a pricing exercise with the architect. You can talk to a few builders, They can explain how they work. You can go walk a few projects. I know on all of our builds, my first meeting is actually at a home that's either under construction or is completed, because I want them to get a feel for the house and I want them to get a feel for how we can communicate. They're driving the questions. I'm engaging in their questions, like truly engaging with them. It's really their shot at trying to get a feel for who the builder is and how the builder thinks. And maybe even talk to the homeowner in that house. What was your experience like? What went well? What didn't go well? Because that is the truth of every project. What went well? What didn't go well? How did we figure it out? That's where a relationship really thrives and is really healthy. The ability to get together and move things forward. All right, so whether you're at the beginning of your project or inching up to the starting line, I urge you, do not negotiate with yourself. You have to have a team that is aligned based on the product that you want in the end. And if you don't understand what that product is, good news, you're going to work with an architect, and that will bubble up on the product that you're going for. You'll also hear more from your designer. So essentially, by going through the architecture phase and the design phase, you have developed a product. Now you can talk to a builder. All of these things need to be aligned. If there's any misalignment, guess what? It's an unhealthy project. Do not move forward. Call timeout. I see timeout called all the time in this industry, and it's a very good move. So, in the beginning, make sure that you align your team so that the product can be delivered that you want to live in and enjoy for the rest of your life. Okay, if you want to keep on going with this information, we have a free digital community, builders and homeowners, some resources in there that are free. If you want to take a deeper dive, Beyond the Blueprints talks about how to put your team together, what to look out for, how to interview your architect, your designer, your builder, what to look for during that process. And essentially, you build that team. We show you how to do that Beyond the Blueprint. So in the description below, there's a link for the free digital community and for Beyond the Blueprints, and I hope that helps.